What's up, party people, and welcome back. This is the series where I take every Street Fighter 6 character from day one all the way to mastering. Today, we are looking at Manon. My goal for this series is to show everyone that they do not need fancy stuff to get to master rank with their favorite character. They could just learn the basic stuff and understand the game and take that and just play the game and have fun. That's my goal. So, the very first thing I like to do with a character whenever I'm learning, whenever I haven't done anything with them at all, very first thing I want to do is their combo trials. Why that is because it gives you an understanding of the character's special moves. The character's identity essentially comes from their special moves in fighting games, at least in Street Fighter. But you could learn pretty much what the developers want you to do with that character if you learn what their special moves are all about. If you can't do all the combo trials, don't stress it. I think Manons are probably the easiest I've done so far in the game. But, it might be more difficult for you. It doesn't matter. It's just to dip your toe in, I kind of look at it like whenever you look at the back of a novel and there's like a paragraph about what the novel's about, you know what I mean? It just kind of dips your toe in, gets you a taste. The Costco sampler, you taste the sample and it's like, oh, I really like those dumplings. I'm going to get some of those dumplings, you know what I mean? Some of those Manon dumplings. So, now that the combo trials are done and I've played the character a bit, I'm going to go over 4 fundamentals that I'm going to be using all throughout the throughout this guide, and I'll probably put this up on the screen now and take pictures with your phone because you can follow this around with the entire series. You'll see, like I said, I'm not doing anything fancy, and this is pretty much going to be the 4 things that I use, and people have told me already that it's helped them quite a bit with learning the game and getting better, and most importantly, having fun. So the number 1 fundamental is slow down and enjoy the game. You are playing a video game. Take a moment, slow down, savor the experience. People are always worried about, where their ego or what level they're at, whatever. None of that matters. Points don't matter. Yes, the goal is day 1 to mastering, but it really doesn't matter. What matters is learning, having fun, and getting better. That's all we care about. You know what I mean? That's all that matters. So I say, start off each session with watching, a video of the character you want to learn and see what you could pick up and learn. Get hyped up, watching like IDOM play Manon. We'll do that at the end of this video. I'll play 2 videos of Manon players cooking with Manon. You know what I mean? Because I think it's fun to watch high-level players cook with the character that I want to learn, and that's how you learn stuff. If you start every single session out watching a video of a pro, you'll probably pick one thing up every single session and really learn a lot about your character, one thing at a time, Second fundamental is focus on basic execution. It's people always looking at these dream combos and stuff and like, oh, I want to do that. The dream combos come later on, in my opinion. Just start off. In this game, Street Fighter 6 makes it real easy for you for pretty much for most things in the game. The punishes you're going to need is just a basic light combo, basic medium combo, basic heavy combo, basic punish for like a wall splat, a crumple, and something for drive reversal. Later on in this guide, I'll have little annotations on the screen, but down a little farther below in the guide, if you just follow along in the pages, you'll see I already have really easy combos for you guys to learn. Not like even easier than the combo trials, you know what I mean? I'm just going because that way I don't have to think whenever I need to punish somebody. I can just do it, in the flow state. I don't have to pause because the second you start thinking about stuff, it slows down your gameplay and you have trouble. So we just don't want to have to think about, oh, what do I need to do here? We just want to do it. You know what I mean? Just boom, there, we got it. Snap call, we get, oh, you screwed up here, you're -5 here. I know that's a light punish, Easy stuff is what we're looking for. Number 3 is developing a game plan. Every single character in the game, kind of look at them like a chess piece, and by that I mean you might not know chess, but essentially pieces like the rook and the bishop are really good at moving. Like the bishop can move anywhere he wants diagonally, but he can't go left, right, or straight up and down, The rook can go anywhere he wants, left, right, straight up and down, but he can't move diagonally. Very strong pieces, but they're very limited by the constraints of the rules of the game. It's kind of how Street Fighter is. Manon doesn't have a fireball. I want to learn where I want to be And what my character wants to do, like I said, just a basic understanding of it. I'm not looking to, theory fight my way out of a paper bag here. I'm just trying to understand what my character wants to do and develop a basic game plan. So because if I understand my character better, then I'm just going to play better with that. A good example of how powerful a simple game plan would be my JP guide. He has probably the most simple game plan in the game. Not talking about it here. We're talking about Manon. Hers is a little bit more complicated. She isn't, she's a mix-up character, so you're going to have to kind of stick along with me, but don't worry. Like I said, I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible for everyone. You'll see whenever I play the game, I'm not trying to do anything crazy. The most important rule, I think, maybe having fun is the most important rule, but this is the rule everyone says that they love, and when they apply to their game, it's a game changer. So the 20 and 5 rule. Every 20 minutes of gaming, I recommend a 5-minute break. You just, take the 5-minute break, then go play another 20-minute block, whatever you want to do, but just take that 5-minute break after you play 20 minutes of sets in Street Fighter. Stretch, breathe, drink water, watch a YouTube video, anything, you know what I mean? Watch one of your replays, see if we could learn what you were doing wrong or something. Just take that 5-minute break because it's really important for your brain to absorb information and muscle memory and all that stuff. This is how you can learn any skill. It's how I learned how to play guitar. It's how I learned how to sing. It's the only reason why I can get through college classes, because I just break it down one simple 20-minute at a time, then take 5-minute break. It's the only way you're going to absorb the information. And you'll notice it immediately. Like, if you play like an hour straight, you're going to be losing focus by the end of the hour. If you play 3 20-minute blocks with 5-minute breaks between each, you're going to notice you're not losing focus. Maybe towards the end of the 20 minutes, you'll be like, oh, but after you take your 5-minute break, then you're going to be like, oh, well, that's not too bad. I'm back in there. Real quick, I'm going to run through the system mechanics that every character in Street Fighter 6 share. And that's the drive gauge, drive impact, drive parry, drive rush, drive reversal, overdrive. There's also like throw and jump. You know what I mean? That's pretty much, that's every single character in the game shares this stuff. And essentially, if you're having trouble with fighting someone in this game, like you keep blocking Chun-Li's lightning legs or Honda keeps headbutting you across the screen, if you kind of just cycle through the different options you have with these system mechanics, odds are one of these is going to be the answer that you're looking for the thing that's giving you trouble. Like if Honda's headbutt's giving you trouble, you could take it into the lab. You could be like, okay, I could, EX do this move here. Oh, I could parry it. I want to parry this instead of block it because it does less damage to my drive gauge. And if I manage a perfect parry, then I get a punish. Oh, if I drive impact real early, I get a really big punish versus him. You know what I mean? But it's like, oh, that's a risk because if I do it too late, then he drive impacts back at me. So just going for the perfect parry, it might not seem like as easy. It might seem hard to at first, but then you'll realize like, oh, if I screw up the perfect parry, nothing happens to me. It's not bad if I just regular parry it, so I might as well just try to go for the perfect parry. Then you'll realize that the window for it is actually pretty large and it's not difficult, and it's just something you practice over time and you pick up. Like I said, there's gonna be pretty much an answer for everything in the game with the basic system mechanics. You know what I mean? You're blocking Lily's, Condor thing where she gets the wind stock and hits you 3 times and then she puts you in a mix-up. You could drive reversal that, Marissa's rushing you down, you drive reversal her, knock her half screen back, and then she's like, oh crap, I can't do it. I gotta get back in that. You know what I mean? There's an answer for everything built into the game for you already. So that's just something to keep in mind. Make sure you learn these system mechanics with any and every character. I'll have B&Bs going. I might have already had them on the screen, but I have them in the guide for you, written down already. I have, a light, medium, heavy punish, wall splat, crumple combo. Manon's heavy punch command grab is 5 frames, so that's going to be your go-to punish for a lot of things if you're in range. One other thing with Manon, that's her drive reversal punish too, because like all her other moves are like 7 frames or whatever, where most characters will have like a 6-frame medium, but her heavy command grab is 5 frames, so that's what she goes to for a lot of punishes. It's as fast as a light punch, you know what I mean? One other thing with Manon, you want to practice going through fireballs with her command twirl and stuff. that's just something you'll want to take into training mode and practice before you play her, just because it's kind of awkward. But once you get the hang of it, it's not hard at all. But you just want to practice that before you get to real match, just so you kind of get where you need to be using it. Oh yeah, another system mechanic is just chains. The difference between a chain and a regular like attack stuff is chains would be like if you're mashing lights like jabs. Your opponent can't like do any EX reversal between it. It's technically a true block string for like the 2 or 3 light buttons, you know what I mean? So that's just good pressure a lot of the time if people are doing stuff like that, because you could make them block 3 jabs. And if you see it hit, you could cancel into a special move. If not, you could wait and block it if they're mashing, didn't get a full punish. That's just another system mechanic to learn as far as easy pressure goes. Also, in the B&Bs, I have, 3 easy combos. You want to learn how to combo into your level 1 super, your level 2 super, and your level 3 super. Have it in the guide written down for you already. Just look back to the guide. Like I said, make sure you take pictures of that guide so you can follow around through the rest of the series, because I will be taking this character from day 1 all the way to master rank, placements after this, and then so on and so forth every 20-minute session I do. And then back to, so that was our second fundamental. Now our third fundamental is starter decks. So second fundamental was basic execution. Now we're how to find starter decks. So I break it down for you. What I do, I have these videos in here. I have the timestamp. I write down every single thing that happens in these matches, literally like a play-by-play, like in NFL, MLB, NBA play-by-play setup. I break it all down to see what Akutagawa and what Idom are doing to win their games, so I can figure out what their game plans are. You know, if you break it down like this, you'll see pretty quick on that there's a pattern of what they're trying to do and how they're winning their games, and essentially where they're getting their damage from, or if they're damaging the drive gauge. You know what I mean? Essentially, it's just all, if you do a play-by-play and then you break it down. I did it for you guys. If you look in the guide, I came up with 3 what I call starter decks. Essentially, it's like if you've ever played a trading card game, you always get your starter deck, just to get you started in playing the game. You know what I mean? It's like very simple, and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, oh, I got this Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, this Kaiba deck, and I know I want to summon my Blue Eyes White Dragon and blow my opponent away. So if you look, just a real quick overview of the game plans I came up with Manon after looking at Idom and Akutagawa's gameplay and writing down that full play-by-play. Manon thrives in the mid-range, that's where all her best buttons are going to be best. She obviously, she doesn't have a fireball, so she doesn't want to be far away. And she has a 5-frame command grab that stacks with her metal mechanic, that every single time you land a command grab, it's going to do more damage. So, but that's, a lot of people are going to know that, so you're going to want to get metals in other ways, but patience is the name of the game with a character like this. Any grappler, you're going to need to be patient. That's okay. Walking forward is one of the biggest strengths you're going to have. And at mid-range, Manon has really good buttons, even whenever she isn't using drive gauge, because that could get expensive. Her basic standing heavy punch target combo and standing medium punch into medium kick target combo puts your opponent at a range that they don't want to be at. If it hits, she's at an advantage, and they have to guess essentially if they jump. She could just wait, punish that, or she could, hit him with the button before it hits. But if you look at the starter deck, so I have So Manon thrives in the mid-range with strong pokes and her grab threats. Stand medium punch plus drive rush can always, make your opponent terrified. Use crouching medium punch to check movement. If there's drive rushing at you, that's the button to go to. Stand medium punch, crouch medium punch, stand heavy punch, heavy kick. They're all really good buttons to use at that mid-range. You could do that back heavy punch, actually. Let me change that in the guide. But back heavy punch into EX twirl kick for big damage. And sorry, in the Idom and Akutagawa play-by-plays, I didn't know anything about Manon. I didn't know which buttons were which, so the buttons might be wrong in the play-by-play, but in the starter decks and the B&Bs, they're all correct. I fixed them, but I just didn't go back and do that because there's not really any point. Her second game plan I came up with is the Whiff Punish Monster. Those buttons I just said are all really good. If you just, like I said, being patient's the name of the game. If you stand at, a range outside, Kin's Crouching Medium Kick or Ryu's Sweep, all these buttons are really good for Whiff Punish nets. So if you just stand right there, essentially right under the drive gauge, right outside of the drive gauge where your character is, like round start range. If you stand right there and wait, her standing heavy punch is gonna reach a lot of stuff and punish your opponents. And it's just honestly just waiting for them to press a button with Manon and then countering with your buttons is a really good game plan. Strong, and like I said, it puts them in a situation they don't want to be in. The last and most important one is something I go over with all characters in all my guides, the time bomb pop quiz, I call it. So this quiz, essentially, you just want to cycle through all these options and gather data on your opponent to see what you're going to do to beat them. Are they anti-airing you if you jump at them? If not, that's free pressure. Are they teching throws? No. Then you just throw them to death. In Banan's case, you could command grab them to death if they're just not if they don't have an answer for throw, then you have an option that's going to blow them up for it. Do they check dry rush, or can you dry rush for free at them and put them in a situation they don't want to be in? Do they parry too much? Then that's free command grabs right there. Do they jump too much? If you do her EX wheel kick, her anti-air wheel kick, that's a free medal with the hit grab. Do they have an answer for DI in the corner? If not, you're just going to kill them. If you walk them to the corner and you're patient, you slowly walk them to the corner and you're DIing them, that's free win for you. So planning these little bombs and getting the knowledge is going to be the most important thing with winning with a character like Manon, because she is very much based on getting to read and winning the game that way. So, yeah, this guide has gone on for a little long, but I think that's okay. I hope you guys learned something from it, but what you're really going to learn is, like I said, make sure you take a picture of the guide whenever it was on the screen and take that with you into the placements and the next sessions, because I'm going to take you through every single match and show you how I apply these game plans, these basic combos, and this understanding of fundamentals to very easily, not easily, but simple strategies to get this character to master rank from day one all the way to master rank. I will see you all in the placements.